Well, hello there, fellow DoorDashers and people wondering what it's like to DoorDash. All right, this is DoorDash Fort Walton in Panama grand opening, second day of grand opening. Uh, and both these locations opened at the same time. And it's pretty incredible because it's like an 80-mile run just on the Fort Walton run because there's so many cities involved. And it's kind of in a circle. And anyway, Thursday, January 31st, 2019. So I started my dash scheduled at 11 o'clock, which I went and clocked in at 10:50, and it also had a $2 peak pay bonus. So I started trolling from Valparaiso to Blue Water Bay. Then I went ahead and paid the $4 bridge, the expressway, to head into San Destin. So I wanted to go the whole circle and see, if I could pick up anything and what cities were actually really doing well. And that's one thing I think DoorDash doesn't understand, that there's a $4 bridge. So when you get some of these long distance orders, when you're up in Blue Water Bay or Valparaiso or Niceville, that when they send you a Destin or San Destin or Miramar Beach or East Destin order, that you literally have to pay the $4 toll bridge to go over there. Otherwise, if you have to drive around, it can take an hour to 2 hours depending on traffic. And I don't think they realize that part, because no one in their right mind is going to pay $4 to go do an order on the other side. It's just not happening. But anyway, so I went trolling down to San Destin, 11:35, and 11:54 I trolled from San Destin to Okaloosa Island, and then at 12:07 I went ahead and was trolling Destin, and then I caught an order at 12:36 for local market for 9:31 plus the $2 peak pay bonus. So that's 9, 10, 11, 31 for that order. It was okay, except the Sugarloaf apartments were very hard to find. So that makes my time longer on getting the delivery done. And because there's a lot of, in Destin, there's a lot of gated communities, whether they're houses or apartments, and they're huge. It's sad because, when they put their order in on the app, the mileage is figured to the exact address. And if the exact address is the gate, then basically we're not paid mileage to go inside. And a lot of the gated communities don't want us inside. They'll have postings, no commercial vehicles allowed. Security guards do not want to let you in. That's why they're secured complexes. And also, the tenants' contracts with the housing systems and the apartment complex systems will read, do not give the gate code out. This is your personal gate code. And the reason they're gated is to keep people out. So technically they should really be coming to the gate to get the order. It's a lot of drama and a lot of trouble to get in a gate. I've sat at a gate for 30 minutes dealing with the security guard because they never heard of DoorDash and they didn't want to let me in. And it's like they have a phone there. All they have to do is call the customer, and that's what they're there for. But it's just the way it's done. So sometimes it makes it rough. And we don't have crystal balls so that we know where every address is. We're not taxi drivers. So, we can't know everything. And I use a $350 Garmin GPS to get places, and sometimes that is not enough. But anyway, so I got that order done, and 1:12 I was trolling over Okaloosa Island. 1:16 I was trolling through Fort Walton, and then I hotspotted in Fort Walton for a little bit, and my end of dash was 1:31, and I did $11.31, and then I started a scheduled shift at 2 to 3 p.m. I clocked in at 1:45 because it'll let you clock in early a lot of times. And I hot spotted it at a place that I get a lot of orders at in Fort Walton. And I got an order at 2 o'clock. Actually, 2:01. I got an order for Tops Burgers for $6.30, which is kind of on the other side of Fort Walton, more towards Mary Esther. But the only problem is that Tops Burgers is a drive-through joint, a little tiny shack, and it has 2 rows of drive-through, one on each side of the little building, and they cook it while you wait. And so we have to literally use the card and order and sit there in the car and wait, so you're running out of gas. And usually when you pull up there, there's 15 cars on each side waiting to order. And it takes a while because they cook it fresh. So I don't like going to that too much. It's just not worth it to me. But anyway, this particular order had a security gate, and they had sent a text message to call them on a different phone number. And it's like, no, that's not happening. We don't call anybody on another phone number or text another number, and that's for our safety. And especially for security purposes, for getting your account hijacked. That's why DoorDash blocks all the numbers, and every conversation you have with the customer and the customer to you, whether it be by text or by phone conversation, is covered by a different number to protect you. So, and then those numbers are deactivated after so many minutes after an order, and sometimes they don't get deactivated right away. It could go an hour. I had a drunk one night that kept calling me going, "Where's my food?" And I was surprised he got through. So the end of that dash was 3:04, and I got paid $6.30. I started scheduled dash that was 4 to 11, and I got to clock in at 3:15. I hotspotted it one place in Fort Walton, Shalimar area that I thought would be pretty good, because we had a $3 peak pay bonus at that point. And so at 4:22, I went to go change my hotspot to one of the fast food joints, the Whataburger. Then I left there, and they were slammed too. I left there and went at 4:51 to go hotspot at a fine dining place. And 5:19, I decided to start trolling Fort Walton. I sold a tip button at the Waffle House, yay. And 5:49, I got an order for Taco Bell in Destin. So I went ahead and drove out there for $10.54. And then at 6:27, I got an order at Whataburger for $10.24 in Destin to go to Indian Lake Condos. At 7:05, I got an order at Island Wing Company for $9.37. And all I had to do is deliver it to the Hampton Inn, which was great because when you text the customer, they get 2 sets of texts, one from the computer and one from the driver. And when you take the time to text that customer while you're waiting on that food, you send the customer a text waiting on your food. When you pick up their food and you're ready to roll, you send a text to the customer, your food is ready. And then you tell them how many miles away you are. And then you count the miles down. When you get real close, you tell them near you. You tell them, white Mercedes. And the customer's waiting out front for you. They're just waiting out there for you, which is awesome. And it saves you so much time. Because a lot of times there's no parking. I don't care if it's a house, apartment, or hotel. There's just no parking. You can't just leave your car in the street, or in a driveway. That is not a good thing. It's not worth the ticket. So it's really neat when the customers, meet you out front. They'll just say, "Oh, I'll be out front," you know, um, and it makes it really convenient. But you have to text them to let them know. You can't just assume they will, because they most probably won't. But if you're letting them know in your car color, they automatically think, well, I need to be out there to pick that up. And it makes it so nice. Everybody's happy. The order's on time. No fooling around. No running down hallways, going upstairs. No playing. It's really nice. Um, and so let's see. I had another order um, down at the Harbor Walk at one of the dinner houses down there for 10:33. And that was real good. It just went right down the street. I got another order at 8:54 for Taco Bell in Destin, and plus the $2 bonus peak pay, and the thing only had to go like a mile. It was really cool because a lot of the Destin orders are usually a little bit longer mileage. Not as bad as Pensacola though. And everything closes on the app at 10 p.m., which is not true because their stuff's still open. Even though we're at winter hours, there are a lot of restaurants that are still open. Even the few that they had listed on the app, because they were listing like by the day, adding more restaurants on the app for that brand new area. And so, being the second day of operation, it just wasn't bad. The first day was good. The second day wasn't bad. I was very impressed with the sales for the first 2 days of grand opening. I just didn't think they would be that good because I have worked Biloxi for several months, going back and forth to work that area because I work all over the states for DoorDash, and Biloxi is a joke. Um, it is like, I don't know if it's because they don't get any orders and nobody knows about it, or they have just got so many drivers and not enough orders. But you could work all day and all night and not get one order, you know, in Biloxi. So I was really quite impressed with the grand opening of this area. I actually am more impressed with it than Pensacola. And Pensacola is a hell of a run. Man, that's just money, 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 money. I don't care how many drivers there are, if you have to dash now or what you do, but Pensacola is absolutely incredible. So the unfortunate thing was they've got it listed that everything closes at 10 on the app, and so there's a lot of stuff still open. It's all the high dollar stuff that's open. So it really bites when you can't sell because they shut it down too early. So my end of dash was 10:15, and I did 59.93 on that dash. So my total hours were 1075. My sales were 77.54. Cash tips were $2, and then I sold a tip pin for 5. I worked 11 to 6 in Fort Walton. Got 2 orders, and 6 to 9 p.m. in Destin. Got 5 orders. Not a bad day at all for the second day for grand opening. Absolutely amazing. So uh, it's really worked out quite nicely. Um, and I made sure to put a YouTube blog out to hire a bunch of people before we opened Panama and Fort Walton, because I have argued with DoorDash since November of 2018 to get these areas open, and they finally did. And they notified me like 30 days in advance, so I put it on the internet so I could get drivers. Because I thought, God, I don't want to be the only driver for like an 80-mile radius of Fort Walton area alone. It's a huge footprint. And Panama is big as well. There's like 2 sides to Panama, and you'll get orders from both sides. And you're talking like a 20-mile drive each way, and that really bites. Especially if there's problems with the restaurant being closed, or it got damaged in the last hurricane, or whatever it is. That can be kind of problematic. But anyway, so that's how that day went, and throw me a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't want to miss another cool food delivery vlog. And I welcome all the new Dashers to the Dasher family. And if you're considering being a Dasher, it's a neat job. It can be really a lot of fun sometimes. And every once in a while, you'll hit a little bit of a snag, but it's not a big, hairy deal. The cool thing about DoorDash is nobody's on your butt if you clock out early. If you decided that's a day, I'm done, you can clock out, and there's not anybody standing over you or sending you a message going, "What'd you clock out?" Because they don't care. You just work it as you feel it. It's kind of a no pressure kind of job. And you don't drive like a madman like the pizza people do. You can drive normally. Most of the orders do allow enough time unless the weather is not good. If the weather's not good or there's a big event, you have to fight traffic or it's very hard to see to drive, then yes, they don't have enough time on these orders. So make sure to look at the mileage of the order before you accept, if you can see it on your app. They change it all the time, and everybody's app is different across the states. Why, I don't know. They should all be the same. So, check that, and always note addresses and names of problematic orders, so that in the event that you see that name or address again, that you can refuse that order to save you trouble. And yes, I do have a few restaurants on my list in certain cities across the states that I will not go to again, because they just take entirely too much time to get ready, or they refuse to check the order with me. They got snotty with me. I just won't do them again. And I will do that when I decline it. It has a thing there where you can say, "I don't like this restaurant," and just push that one. That's it. And if enough DoorDashers report that restaurant, they'll just take it off the list. Because the whole idea is to sell product. And if you're in the business having a restaurant, which I've done, in my lifetime for many, many years in the bar and restaurant business, I've owned them, worked them, and run them. I did have 7 at a time at one point in time. So I know a little bit about the business. And the whole idea is to sell product. And I would have been so happy back in the day if I could have sold food and liquor out that door without having to wait on anybody or nothing and just take people's money. I'd have been happy as a lamb, especially if I had 1 or 2 people at the bar or a very slow day in the dinner house. I'd have been just thrilled to bits if I could have had something like DoorDash come and pick up orders from me. I throw them out the door, and I'm done. And it's as simple as checking that order with that driver before they leave, so they know they have all the pieces. So I look good and they look good, and I'm not going to have a customer calling me when these people are ordering through a service, because I don't want to be bothered. So, because at times customers will try that. They will call restaurants to complain and all that. It gives the restaurant a bad name, and they need to do all that with DoorDash, not through the restaurant. DoorDash is very good about giving food credits when things are problematic, because they'll verify them and everything. My neighbor ordered from DoorDash the other day from a fine dining place, because it's the only thing open late at night, and it was missing the onion rings and french fries. And this is at a fine dining place, so he paid like $35 for a hamburger there. And when the order came, it was missing the parts. And thank God he did contact DoorDash, but they only gave him a $5 credit, which that's ridiculous. But they gave him a little something. But they gave it to him on his account with DoorDash, not on his credit card. So, not knowing if the driver hijacked the food or the driver didn't check the food before they left the restaurant, it could have been one or the other. And I would venture to say it's the driver not checking that food before they leave the restaurant. We are not allowed to touch the food, and we're supposed to have a rep from the restaurant to go through it right in front of our face, just like we were buying it to go. If you were buying it to go, you'd want to make sure all the food was there before you left or before you run your credit card. Absolutely. Because you don't want to run that card twice. That's redundant. It's not that hard for them to make food if they're trying to do a business. then they need to do it right. They need to check that order cheerfully with the driver. It only takes a few minutes, especially on these small orders, just a few minutes of their time to physically go through all the bits with you, to show you to your face, yes, I have the enchiladas. Yes, I have the beans and rice over here. Yes, I have, the right tortillas and I have them here. I do have salsa. I do have knives and forks. I do have napkins. It only takes a moment. Now, I've around like Blue Water Bay, Valparaiso, and Niceville, a lot of the fast food joints over there are taping the bags shut. So when you go to get that order, they've taped it all shut with all these DoorDash stickers, which is a total waste of money. All they need is one. And two, why are you taping the bags before we check this order? It's because a lot of beginning drivers are too damn lazy to check that order, and that's where your ratings are going down. And that's where you're pissing people off between DoorDash, the customer, the restaurant. Because the restaurant's thinking, well, we gave them the food, so we know they had it, and they're telling DoorDash that, so now you're going to get in trouble for missing food because they claim they gave you the food. And I'm going to tell you, 99% of my orders are incorrect. I have to go through it with them before I leave, and 99% of them are incorrect. The restaurant is missing stuff, or it's the wrong food. So please, drivers, check that food with the restaurant. Be cheerful and smiley as much as you can. Yes, I know some of them are they can be really bad rude. Even if it's a $150 order, they can be really rude. It's like, oh my gosh, you know how many people would love to sell $150 in food? Why would they be so mean? But sometimes it's that way, and other times they're absolutely wonderful. They will do anything they can do for you, give you extra free stuff for your customer. I have Oriental restaurants that love when I come to pick up, because I bring my hot bags and cold bags in. I know what I'm picking up. I know what I need to pick up with. So that food is as hot and cold as it came from that restaurant if the customer was sitting at the table and came in and eat. So they're happy with me, and they're happy to check the order out with me, each single piece that they've got prepared to make sure it's right. And they're just happy as lamb when I show up, and they're trying to figure out ways to get the other 5 DoorDashers fired because they don't like the way they deliver, because they never bring a hot bag in, or they're rude. And yes, a restaurant can report you, whether they're a signature key restaurant at DoorDash, or they've just been assigned to the DoorDash platform for free. They can report you as a driver if you are snotty, rude, impatient, anything like that. So you have to really kiss some boutte. You have to be really sweet and nice, because remember, you're only the middleman. You're not the restaurant. You're not the customer. You're just a delivery person. And if you want those cash tips, you're looking for that money, because there are cash tips out there, even when they've tipped you on the app or not tipped you on the app, you have to work for it. So you have to think about it. If you were the restaurant owner or if you were the customer, how does it need to be done? That's how it needs to be done. Do you want your food hot when it comes to you? If you order a shake, do you want it melted in its milk? And you just paid $4 or $5 for a shake, and it comes to you as milk when you can buy a gallon of milk for $4 at the market? No. Think about it as if it was you. DoorDash sends you a free bag. You can buy hot bags cheap in the store, even if you haven't got your free bag. Or if you need extra free bags. I would never go with just that DoorDash bag. I used that like one day. I hated it. Because it's open on the sides and the heat doesn't stay in, and then I like my cold stuff cold and my hot stuff hot. So I have hot bags and cold bags and ice coolers, all that. So, and let me tell you, if I didn't have so many bags, I don't know what I'd have done when I had to do that big banquet order for that Mexican restaurant. Holy hell. I used like 5 bags and 3 coolers, okay? So, it's good to be prepared, and those are tax write-offs. They're tax write-offs. You can get some hot bags as cheap as $5. $5 at the store, okay? It's nothing to spend that $5 because that's your tax write-off. It's supplies. Don't forget that. So, it's all about that money and getting that food delivered like it came from the restaurant. The only time restaurants get mad is when you screw up the food, you don't deliver it hot or cold like it's supposed to be, and stuff is missing. Okay, so and I'm going to tell you most of the time it's the restaurant's fault, but it's your fault if you don't check that order. Okay, you need to check it if you care about your ratings, you care about your pay, you care about how the restaurant feels when you walk in there. I don't ever tell anybody I'm DoorDash. I only say the customer's name. I never tell anybody I'm DoorDash. Because a lot of the restaurants are not signature key restaurants that pay a percentage of their sales to be on DoorDash. Um, but they get mad if they find out that you're a delivery driver because they think their food's going to be jacked up because you don't care. And you're going to ruin the quality of their food and it will ruin their business so that people won't come to the restaurant or ever order from them again because the food is crap. You know, that food gets old when it sits around. It steams away, bread goes bad, food tastes lousy, um, when it sits too long, and then if it's not kept hot. If it's cold, it tastes like hell. Okay, now I don't like my food piping hot. I like it kind of medium, but most people like their food piping hot. Okay, but still, I don't like just cold food. It really takes the taste out of it. I could do cold food back in the day when I used to drink a lot. I didn't give a damn. As long as it was food, I was good. But I don't drink anymore. It's been many years. So I'm real funny about my food. And not everybody drinks. So try to get it the way it came from the restaurant. It's really important. Your ratings will be sky high. And keep in touch with that customer. It's absolutely mandatory if you want good ratings and you want to stay working for DoorDash. Because when that day comes and you go to clock in and you can't get in the DoorDash app, it has completely blocked you or you can't schedule a shift, then you know something's wrong. And it's really sad when you finally get through to DoorDash and they answer you 2 or 3 days later with you've been terminated. So if you like the job, treasure it. All right? Talk to you later. I hope you have a really super and blessed day. Love to you. Throw me a cool thumbs up if you like this vlog and it was helpful to you. And please subscribe if you want to have more secret tips and hints because you can't get them unless you subscribe. And I have lots of cool vlogs on DoorDash that should help you. And if you have any questions, please do ask. I'll be glad to help you if I can and try to keep the subject matter on the proper subject. Don't be asking me about tax deductions on how to set up your food bag or something. Try to keep it in the subject matter of the vlog, if you would please, because it really dances on and it confuses other people that are watching the video and then reading the comments. They get totally lost when you get into other subject matter. So anyway, hope you have a great one. Love to you. Thanks for watching, and thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll catch you on the next dash. Love to you.